Hey everyone, so this is 11/22/63, um, episode 7, which is called Soldier Boy. Basically, this whole episode is Jake trying to regain his memories of what he is doing in the past and what he's trying to do for most of the episode, except for like the last 10, maybe 15 minutes of the episode. So basically, like, the first like 45, the first like 35, 40 minutes is of him trying to regain his memories. Um, and the last like 10, 15 minutes is getting to Dallas and making sure that he can finish his mission of saving JFK. I'm not gonna go through every single thing. Um, I'm just gonna, or maybe just touch on it a little bit, but not gonna go too in depth of it. But basically, the episode starts off with Jake waking up in a hospital, and he's waking up in the hospital, and he's out of it, and he sees Al and his ex-wife Christy and everything, and then he kind of wakes up um, and sees Deacon Sadie. Then the episode kind of breaks up into like uh, specific days leading up to the assassination. The first day that you see is the 7th, November 7th, which is 2 days after he wakes up in the hospital, which was on November 5th. And or Sadie's trying to, jog his memory after he kind of like, after he wakes up. Um, then it goes to November 12th. Um, and Haswell is going to see Agent Hosty at the FBI field office in Dallas. Jake's, leaving the hospital that day too, and he is trying to figure out what happened, like where Bill is. He mistakes, or he says Deke's name is Frank instead of actually Deke. Um, and then when he's corrected, he is told Miss Mimi has. He says that Deke is married to Miss Mimi, and then that's when he's told that Miss Mimi has died since the last episode. Um, then he realizes where Bill is when Deke hands him the release form for himself for Jake. Um, and so him and Jake and Sadie go to the psychiatric hospital that Bill is put into. It's a different hospital than the one that Bill was first admitted to, or originally admitted to, and so the reason he was put there is because Jake didn't come by the next day after committing Bill to pay the bill and stuff, and the place that Bill is now is a place where people who can't pay for other places to go to. And Bill comes in, and Jake and Sadie talk for a little bit before um, talk a little bit both with the director there and without the director there, and eventually the doctor comes back after leaving the room for a few minutes with a form to sign, um, for Jake to sign to release Bill. Both Jake and Sadie get distracted by the doctor, um, and all three of them turn their backs on Bill before. So Bill, and that allows Bill to, uh, climb out the window and jump out, and jump to his death. And um, then goes to a commercial break. And 2 days later, on the 14th, Jake and Sadie bury Bill. And then 2 days after that, on the 16th, Jake is all depressed, and Sadie and Deke are talking about Jake being depressed, and Deke's like, make sure that you keep on him so that because you're the only way, you're his only way back. On the 17th, Sadie then tells Jake JFK's coming to Dallas, and she's like, she's trying to get him, she's trying to jog his memory, and he's like, I don't want to do this, and she's like, fine, be all depressed, fine, whatever, I don't care anymore, and basically gets out some gear, and then, he then, um, pours the pills down the drain, and gets rid of the pills, and says, fine, okay, I want your help. Elsewhere that same day on the 17th, Lee's mother's trying to get Lee to, be the old person that he used to be and everything, and eventually he comes around, or seems to come around, and then on the 18th, Oswald is sitting on a park bench eating a candy bar, and he sees a newspaper next to him that was left on the park bench, with articles talking about JFK coming to Dallas. Throws the paper away, walks away whistling. Then on November 19th, Sadie is teaching Deke the dance that she and the kids were doing in episode 2 or episode 3, when both she and Jake were, chaperoning the dance. And then Jake hears the guy on the radio say the name Madison, and Jake assumes it is the street that he used to live on. So the next day, on the 20th, Sadie and Jake go to Madison Street and check all up and down the street to make sure, see if that's where he used to live. He finds the house that he used to live in, and the person who's now living in Jake's old apartment is slamming the door in their face before they go. And then they go to Oswald's place, and Oswald recognizes them, and he says that the last time he saw Jake was a month ago. So they go inside and talk for a little bit, and that's when Jake, suddenly remembers everything from the past 3 years. And so Jake fiends wanting a cup of water, and goes to the kitchen house to go get it, and then but instead he grabs a knife and comes back and to kill Oswald. But Oswald has gone to get his daughter, who woke up from a nap, and so Oswald asks them to leave, which they do. And goes to commercial break, comes back. Jake drops the knife into the trash on the way back to the car. And when they get home, Jake says that he wants to go lay down while they make dinner. But instead, what he does is he gets a gun, goes out to the car, sneaks out and goes out to the car. In the car, he realizes that she's in the car with him. She's like, I don't like liars, and I'm gonna come with you even though you say you don't want me to go with you because it's dangerous. I'm gonna go with you anyway. Jake then says, according to House File, Oswald keeps his rifle at a woman named at a house a woman owns, whose name is Ruth Paines. So they go before they go over there. At Ruth's house, Oswald is trying to get Marina back, and she's not allowing it because she feels like she deserves better, even though because he beats her, she deserves better. And then Sadie and Jake go to the Ruth's house, lie their way in, saying that Oswald has a package for them that they need to pick up. They go out to the garage and search for the gun. Jake deduces that it's not there anymore, and assumes that Oswald already took the gun away from the house. So then it jumps to November 22nd at 12:30 a.m. Jake and Sadie have driven all the way to Dallas. They park the car where they have a view, or a perfect view of the front doors of the book depository. And so they're, they kind of sit there for a little bit before they talk about what they have to do in order to get Lee to not kill JFK. And Jake says that he will tackle Oswald and say that Oswald had threatened to kill JFK. Um, and so then an officer knocks on the door and tells them that they have to leave because they can't park there. So they leave, park at by a factory, and because Jake says they can't go to a hotel because if they go to a hotel, it'll be too far from Dealey Plaza, and they have to be as close to Dealey Plaza as possible. And so Sadie turns on the radio. So they talk a little bit about what Jake would misses from the future, what he is looking forward to going back to. Jake says that he's looking forward to sneakers again. Sadie wonders about what about people? He's like, no other people. And then the radio that Sadie turned on starts to cut out, and you hear static on it. Then after a few seconds of static on it, the radio comes back on, and then suddenly the yellow card man appears, and he's saying that he loves Elvis. Goes to a commercial break, comes back, and basically the yellow card man tells the story of how every time he's gone back into the past to save his daughter, he's not able to because of the fact that no matter what he does, the past won't let him save her no matter what. He's tried every variation they could think of, and it always happens that he can't save her. And my theory is that because he is too close to the person that he's trying to save, which is his daughter. And I feel like the closer you are to the person who you're trying to save, the harder it is going to be to stop the event that's going to happen. So he basically warns Jake, just go home, forget it. And Jake's like, no, I'm not going to forget it. I think I need to, I have to do this. And then all of a sudden he's back in the car with Sadie again. He then asks Sadie, why don't we just, let history happen and buy a house in Jody, have kids, work at the school, and whatever. Sadie's like, no, we can't. You came back for a reason, we need to do this. So, 7 hours later, 7 or 8 hours later, they wake up. The car won't start, so they jump out, find a car that's unlocked and hotwire since there's no keys, and take off. While they go look for this car, Marina's like, Oswald or Lee, I think we should take the kids and go to the zoo, or at the very least talk about us. But Oswald's like, no, I have a job to do, and he leaves. A half hour later, Lee and a friend are walking into work, and Lee says he will continue working when JK's motorcade drives through. Then goes up to the top floor and gets everything set up. So basically, that's the whole episode. When I first watched this episode, I didn't really like the whole memory loss thing that's in regards to Jake, but when I saw it the second time, I was like, okay, I like it better. I agree with it more because what he's doing is, borderline, borderline, I guess, difficult to do and impossible, I guess. And so I can understand how the past will push back and everything. So I'm more okay with the fact that Jake has memory loss in this episode. And what I really like is how they showed each individual day, or each a specific day, and they focused on the specific day in each scene, like November 5th, 7th, 12th, 14th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, 22nd. I like how they did that and showed each specific day. I wish they would have done that before, but what can you do? They didn't. And that's really all I have to say about the episode. Fun little facts: the guy who plays the yellow card man is the guy who plays Benny and the Mummy. and he was a little punk that Brendan Fraser's character kept, bumping into throughout the whole movie. Um, he's Benny in the Mummy is like Peter Pettigrew in um, the Harry Potter series. He basically acts the same exact way as Peter Pettigrew in the series, in the Harry Potter series. So that's the character that Benny is. So just a little fun fact about Yellow Card Man and where I recognized him from, because I completely recognized him from somewhere. I just couldn't remember where. Then I looked him up, and lo and behold, he was Benny in The Mummy. That said, that's the whole episode. I hope you liked it. I know it's quick, but with that said, hit like if you like this video, hit subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and don't hesitate to excuse me, don't hesitate to discuss the episode in the comments below, and I will link my Patreon page in the description below as well. And I'll see you later in the last episode. Bye.